Probably looks even more dodgy, like some guy with no shoes. I'm just checking out a kid's bike. Like what?
There's a car coming.
So this guy just fucking just throws it at the ground and runs.
There's no brakes.
Oh, that hurt.
Yeah.
Damn.
I just really went for it this time.
Do you think it would hurt more or less than...
If I did it on each side of my face?
I was going to say a Chinese space station landing on you in the next couple of days.
Oh, wow.
Close though.
Directly onto you, like ow.
The size of a bus.
I don't think I'd feel it.
Yeah, you wouldn't know much about it, eh?
No. Just like I do now, I have no idea what you're talking about.
So yeah, there's a Chinese space station in Earth's orbit, and it should crash into somewhere in the southern hemisphere between, what are we now? Well, it's
28th.
It's a date.
Fake news.
It should be between the 28th and the 2nd of April. 28th of March, 2nd of April. That's what they reckon.
Who's they?
Oh, the space guys. NASA.
Space guys.
NASA and friends.
Yeah. Space station crashing into your backyard. Imagine that.
How
It's
big-
got a
how
gym
big-
on it.
how
You could have
big
a
is
free
it?
gym.
I feel like it'd disintegrate.
Yeah.
This is fear mongering by you and NASA and friends.
That's it. I want everyone to stay indoors for the next 4 or 5 days
True.
Fake news.
so I can run around on the streets naked.
Do you have any other information about this Chinese satellite? What's it been doing the whole time, or just a generic satellite for
It was
for
it was a manned
Satellite
space
TV or
station
something.
for
Oh,
so
okay.
they would send
Are there people in it?
astronauts up there. Currently, no.
Just screaming down.
Shit, Frank.
oh my god,
Frank the
We
Asian.
really fucked this one. Yeah, well, if we're going to appropriate it into Western culture and tell the story, we've got to give them white names.
yeah, the correct names.
It's more relatable.
I forgot what the phrase is, but
Something
what's it
Wong.
called? When
Something Wong. You saying that? It's like on some American news report, and they're like, "Oh yeah, these 4 people have like gone missing, like in China or something," and like someone's just full on just pranked them, and like, all the
boy.
names are just
Was it something Wong Bangting Owl?
Jesus Christ,
Yes, they just didn't really catch on to it.
Oops.
that's hilarious.
Got pranked.
What were you saying?
I forgot.
Oh, okay.
What was I saying?
Your memories
I need to write down my notes.
about the Chinese station.
I don't know much about it.
Space station.
I think what the idea is that some part of the ship's being the space station's being disabled, so they can't remotely control it now. So it's basically just doing laps of the Earth in orbit, and then it's called like gravity pull or something, where it sort of as it goes round, it gets drawn a little bit closer and closer. It's like last I read, which was like 2 days ago, it was like 200, just over 200 kilometers
So
up.
it's slowly becoming more and more attracted to the Earth.
Yeah. Slowly, and then it'll break apart, and you should see a green streak across the sky.
Oh.
So I'm hanging out for that. They reckon they'll know better. They'll know roughly 7 hours before the event, before it actually breaks up and into the Earth's atmosphere. They'll know approximately where in the sky it's going to be.
Okay.
It's pretty likely that it'll just crash into the ocean, though, isn't it?
Yeah, they said it's like impossible almost for it to land, actually kill anyone.
I was going to say we should go on a salvaging mission.
Yeah, I thought about that.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
I don't know what we'd build with it, but our own satellite, or
Speaking of like salvaging missions,
we are speaking.
there's like some ridiculous number of how many like sea containers are
speaking
lost
now.
each year.
Satellites.
Sea containers.
I was not listening.
There's some ridiculous amount of how many are lost like per year. It's like Yeah, there's just sea containers out there on,
What,
on,
that
the,
just
on the
fall-
ocean
that
floor.
just fall off
yeah, they
the
fall
fucking
off
ship?
the ships. Yeah,
It's got to
Why
secure
don't
it.
we do that?
you could. There could be some like
We could.
There's
ones full of like bintang singlets out there.
fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Should be a real
Does
haul.
that shit get shipped in sea containers?
Probably.
Nah, I've never been able to buy one here.
No, not
always
to
like-
here. They don't make it in Bali though. It's like made in Thailand.
They also make heroin
Yeah,
in
but-
Thailand.
What an industry.
True fact.
Singlets and
Yeah,
heroin. Hand in hand.
Well, you don't have to roll your sleeves up, do you?
Oh, at least that's what I was listening to. A Terence McKenna lecture, and he was talking about Thailand. Was it him? I think it was, and he was saying how there's this particular psychedelic drug that's like really obscure over there. Mostly everything is legal over there,
Yeah.
but I think this drug isn't.
Is it
legal,
synthetic or is
and
it
the
like a
reason
natural-
because it offsets the effects of heroin. It's like ibogaine sort of
Ooh.
style sort of thing.
Right.
So that's why it's illegal, because it interferes with the heroin trade. That's potentially
Ooh.
straight up my ass. But there you go.
Something to think about, something to look up.
But I would love to be a pirate and sort of, or a Tomb Raider, sort of modern
Lara
Tomb Raider.
Croft.
That would be the dream.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
There's
Go
like
and find the Ark of the Covenant or some shit.
Yeah, except it's just a sea container full of, I don't know.
But
They like sell off sea containers when I can't remember why, but it's like if they're not claimed or they're not like
Yeah.
paid for or something like that.
yeah,
they just
there's a
auction
show
them
about
off.
it, isn't there?
Yeah. But it's so weird.
Have fun. And the way the show's run, isn't it? They don't know.
They open it up so you can look in, but you can't
You
walk
can't go
in and
through,
like
yeah.
run through it. You have to just like buy it
take
off,
gamble.
off face value.
Yeah.
What's one of the, do you know some of the things they found in them?
Fucking just literally anything you could think of. Like I don't watch that one
Yeah.
that often. There's a couple different variations of the show. Like one's just like the lockers,
Yeah.
storage lockers. In one of the episodes, that this bloke scored all this fucking artwork by some prestigious, I think it's like South American artist or something.
Yeah.
And it was like $300,000 worth of art, and he bought it for like $1,000 or something.
Jesus.
That's
Like-
when it goes right. Usually it's just
Yeah,
crap.
but it's like
Yeah.
who is leaving $300,000 worth of art in a locker and not paying like the rent and just like, oh yeah, oh well,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it was just that's how it happens. Like it's those lockers are owned by people that end up not paying that rent or whatever it is for the locker, and then they lose it and lose whatever's inside.
Jeez.
That's fucked.
I imagine quite a task to get a sea container off the bottom of the ocean floor, though.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There'd only be certain areas you could do it,
Mm.
like depending on the depth of the ocean floor and things.
I feel like there would be zero
I don't
areas you
even
could do
know-
it.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if they have the capabilities. Like they might have like massive cranes on the side of these boats that can drop down like hundreds and hundreds of meters.
Probably. Like,
Yeah, but then you
me,
need someone or
yeah.
something to secure the actual container to bring it up.
Yeah. I don't think we could do it.
You need giant magnets
Yeah, magnet or the
Magnets?
like on the end of like a crane.
How do they
You
work?
just dive down, man. You hold on to the winch on the crane and you just go down.
Just cruise down
Hold
a
your
couple
breath.
hundred.
Yeah, man. No,
Also-
easy.
If you didn't know that, if you go underwater, you got to hold your breath.
But
Yeah.
that can also
PSA.
fuck you up, can't it? If they always say like scuba diving, you're not supposed to hold your breath.
You get the bends,
You get fucked up.
nitrogen bubbles.
Yeah, I always heard when you're ascending, you don't ascend quicker than your bubbles. That's like some general rule I've heard.
Fun fact, they actually give ketones to deep sea divers because it improves oxygen flow to the brain or something.
Damn.
Yeah, increases brain power or something. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
What a job
Google
that
it.
is, though.
Google
Hey, to be like a saturation diver.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. They go into these environments. I think what they do is so they don't have to like go from like these deep dives back up to like fucking 1 atmosphere or whatever, like just up on the surface. They go into these environments that are like pressurized. So they only like these guys that go off to like these like oil rigs and stuff, they go to these into the environment that's pressurized and live in there. All their food's given to them and everything, so that they only have to depressurize like and adjust like they go there, they adjust to the pressure, and then they stay in that.
Right.
Do all their diving activities and work, and then when they leave, they come out of it because apparently it's better for your health not to
Makes sense.
do it frequently.
Yeah.
So, ooh, that's crazy though.
Yeah.
What a job.
Yeah, those kinds of jobs are fucked. Like the ones that do, it's like the welding and shit, like on this like sea floor, doing like pipes and shit.
Are they obviously contained in a
I
thingy bob?
fucking don't know how it works.
Yeah, I've got no idea. Hey,
Never seen it.
nah. Cool. They make a bit of bank, don't they?
They'd have to.
They work like 4 months of the year or something. But I think that has like long-term health implications. A lot of them had to retire early or
True.
go mad or whatever.
What else is on the bottom of the seafloor? What's down there?
Gnarly shit.
There's some fucked up shit, eh? Like giant squid that will suck your face off.
Giant squids?
Yeah, they'll suck it clean off.
Be more creative. I think there's things that you can't even fathom.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what's the percentage of the seafloor we've surveyed or whatever? It's like 5%
Yeah, I think it's 5. It's around 5%.
of the ocean. Yeah.
It's freaky.
Yeah,
That's
there's some fucking weird shit down there. Like you see, it's not like it's like I suppose it's a submarine, but like
I'm gonna
basically for like 1 or 2 people, like it's pretty small, and these things can go fucking like a few kilometers like down. And they went to like it's like a underwater volcano,
Yeah.
right where like the vent like opens up sort of thing. Went across it and like went around that area because that's where like all the nutrients for like the animals to feed off, that's where it comes from.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, there's some fucking weird things down there. I'm pretty sure, I can't remember if it was the same documentary or whatever, but I remember they found like a shark, like this fucking weird looking shark down there. That was like, I'm not sure it'd probably already been discovered, but like it was just weird that such like a big animal was able to survive down there because everything else was like macro sort of like insects and shit pretty much.
Yeah.
Have you seen the video of? I think they have cameras on a lot of like oil drilling sort of
Yeah,
sites.
yeah.
Like really far down. And then there's this footage on YouTube of this like giant squid thing, like you're saying, but it's like looks like an alien from Arrival. It's like got giant long
Ooh,
tentacles.
yeah.
Just kind of appears in frame. If you
kraken.
pull that up now, you can see it. I'm asking a lot of the editing, but I reckon we can do that. So you see it there. Look. But yeah, it's freaky, and you can tell by the camera movements because they can manually and they're like jerking around like, what the fuck, what is that following? You're like, what is that?
Oh, so someone's actually...
Yeah,
Is it this
you
thing?
can it's like you can manually
Yeah.
that's it, that's the
Or
one.
that thing?
No, it's the first two. It's that weird looking fella.
Oh, that looks...
What depth is this? So this is just something like completely
says
unlike anything we've
depth
seen.
is, I don't know what units it's in, but it says 7,828. It might be feet.
I think it's very deep.
And it's on a drill pipe, is it?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow.
It looks like a fucking spider.
Imagine if that shit
Yeah, that's
just one
fucked.
day like came out of the ocean and was able to survive up here.
It looks
Like what if they were down there
I
and
wouldn't
like
let it.
fuck this and
No,
they
we
just came
wouldn't
out of
let
the
it.
ocean.
We wouldn't let it.
overtook.
It looks like it has a...
What if that we couldn't stop them? What if they were like stronger? And
What if we couldn't stop them? Let's try that for a movie. But what if we couldn't stop them?
deep sea animals come from?
It looks like a
rock.
stingray body, like on top of its fucking head.
But look at that. It's like the arms. It's like down things like that. Keep watching it.
Yeah, I watched the
look
whole
at
thing.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
That's freaky,
How
man.
long is it?
30 seconds.
I think the video is like
There's another one that's like 2
2
minutes,
minutes,
3 minutes.
Well, goddamn.
Jesus Christ.
What if
There's-
they can control people's minds? And they make people drown themselves.
Like sirens.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
What if the deep sea creatures can control minds and they control the minds? They're like these like sedentary kind of creatures that just sit there and feed off the nutrients like near these like volcanic vents and stuff. they can control the minds of the creatures that live in the shallow waters that we know, like your sharks and your fish and all that. So
Sounds like Aquaman.
yeah, oh yeah. So they're just controlling sharks and stuff to protect themselves from us
Potentially.
above. Crazy
I would
theory.
have no idea. Maybe right now I'm being called.
I like how like on YouTube anything that's like an animal that people don't know what it is, they just like refer to it as like a monster or something.
Yeah.
Like the caption,
Shit that washes up in
the
beaches.
title for this one, like massive unidentified sea monster.
Yeah.
Like,
Squid.
can't just be an
Monster.
animal.
Yeah. It's a monster.
Grizzly bears. It's a freaking monster.
Monsters.
So
Yeah.
the shit that's unfathomable, unfathomable to
Fathomable.
us aside, the stuff that we do know that is down there, how come the stuff that gets no light and is hardly ever seen is the ugliest, most terrifying creatures?
No vitamin
Is there
D.
an evolutionary reason for that?
Because people don't need to look at them, so they're like, I can
is
be an
it-
ugly.
is-
Yeah,
things.
probably. Yeah.
Like no one ever sees them, so there's no reason for beauty.
Yeah, there's no need.
Nature just sort of like funnels everything in just to like trying to get nutrients, and it's like,
Aren't there a lot of animals?
what, like what?
What if like two
Down
of
in the
these?
deep.
Sorry, you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
aren't there a lot of animals down in the deep that create light and like use like displays of light as like a
Yeah, but they're also ugly as fuck.
yeah, they look ugly, but the light that they because I guess
It's a tiny, like,
light is the source of energy, right? So
yeah.
that would be a positive like characteristic to have as a deep sea creature that lives in a dark environment is if they see light they're attracted to it, so that might be like a mating thing.
That's pretty impressive for an organism to create light.
Yeah,
That's pretty impressive, don't you think?
it's like
I never thought about that. That is.
it is, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, what if like two of these creatures, whatever they are, just fucking ugly looking things, and they're like mating, and then some kind of external light source or like some animal with its own light source comes past and they get a glimpse of each other, and
Oh.
the two that are mating, and the chick's just like, fuck, you're ugly. What the fuck was I thinking?
That's
Oh,
like when the
turn the light
sheriff
off.
comes up to your fucking car and your park's on the overlook or something, and he's tapping on the foggy window glass, putting his torch inside. Hey, what's going on in here? And you're fucking balls deep in some chick.
And some fucking squid in your car.
Worst side that would be. Just
Yeah, what would you do as a cop in that situation?
I'd walk away from that.
Yeah,
I
you
wouldn't
just-
want anything to do with
Yeah.
it.
I'd film it, put it on World Star
World Star.
or Live Leak.
That's out of control.
Well, I guess beauty is not subjective.
It's in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
In the
So-
beer, in the eyes of the beer holder.
Probably only think they're ugly because they're so far into us and we never see them. So
And we're not attracted to fish.
We were talking about that the other day.
What?
Similar
natural
concept.
biological processes can be beautiful. So I guess whatever.
Yeah.
What are we saying?
We were just saying how like we were saying like how easy it is to recognize like different features in human beings.
Ah, yeah.
We're like, what about like wolves? Like we see wolves and we just look at them and they look all the same.
Yeah.
But and I was like,
Racist.
oh, maybe to a wolf, like because you are that creature, you can notice the little differences.
Things
in other
that we
ones.
might recognize as a subtle difference. They're like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
they're like, Jesus
that guy's
Christ, Tim,
fucker.
you got fucking long ears, haven't you?
Yeah. Or like you hear a wolf howl. That's how to do it. And you hear another one. That could mean two completely different things. obviously.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. The first one was definitely a lot more confrontational. So I think that would be something's got to go down after
I mean,
that.
I only know one human language.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm not going to be able to see any nuance or hear any nuance
Yeah.
in wolf language. Wolfanese.
I think wolf language is pretty hard to get your head around.
Wolfanese.
Wolfanese.
Oh, drinks break.
You have to take the reins, Brandon.
Yeah, I thought you were like halfway through a sentence and you just started drinking.
So the meaning of life is
42.
Chug it, Chad.
How
Or is it
disappointing
Brad?
was
wolf. You're talking about wolf language.
Oh, it's pretty hard to get your head around.
Okay.
It is. Like if you really try and...
It's like
try and do
Mandarin.
it.
Yeah, I got a few
It's
books
tough.
out of the library, but it's just like too heavy.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy. You just stick to human language. It's way easier.
Yeah, sure.
It's the way to go. How do we want to describe the bizarre events that unfolded earlier today?
Oh,
Because that was weird.
just rerun through it. Recap.
Recap.
There's a sort of reverse reenactment of it in the intro,
Yeah.
or at least what I think the intro would be.
To an extent, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I reckon you should tell it. You saw all of the things happen as they
I
happened.
didn't even see the start of this incident, so
I didn't even
paying
think it
attention
was
to that
real.
giant truck.
Yeah. It was truly one of those moments where you see something that is just so outside of the normal scope of what you experience every day that you like, is this actually fucking happening right now?
Yeah, you sort of like double take.
You're like, this isn't reality. Reality is crumbling around me. Weird one. Anyway, so we're driving around. This is before the pod, and three of us in their car going to pick up my sister from uni.
Shouts
That's the situation that's gone down.
Shouts out.
just a normal task.
Look, I'll go into a bit more detail. We're driving through Bentley as well in Perth, Western Australia. It's a fuckhole. It's where I live.
This is a lot of like
There you go.
exposition.
So we're driving down the street, and we look at there's a dude walking along the street. He's got like basketball attire on, but not in the way that you're like playing basketball. More in the way that like you think you're a fucking home dog.
And a headband, sort of like a headband sort of thing.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, headband, some sunnies.
And like a sports jacket.
Yeah,
Like a homeless LEG.
yeah,
Ooh,
yeah,
with shorts.
Nailed it.
With shorts. I think Ali G likes shorts.
yeah. And he's walking along with this tiny little bicycle.
That's a bad reference. It was
Was it bigger than that? It
was like-
small.
It's just
I
a
mean, you
kid's-
rode it.
Yeah,
What was it like?
it was a little bigger than that.
So it was
It's just
like
a kid's
this big,
bicycle. I think
very
Frozen
small.
themed.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
maybe for like a 4-year-old, I want to say.
A 4-year-old's bike. It didn't even have training wheels. This kid is advanced.
Right.
Anyway, so he's got that in his hand. He's walking on the street, and he's walking along, and he comes across some bog rubbish. There's like, I don't know, some like grass, like
Couple
green waste, and then a couple of
couches.
couches that were like sort of torn and tattered. He takes a quick sketchy look around, and then he just like throws the bike to the ground, turns and runs around the corner and onto another street. Like just like,
Full on
So
sprint.
yeah, he's on like a highway, like a main road. Not
Yeah.
highway. I mean, it's called
Albany.
Highway, but like, yeah. Anyway, the main road, and then just bolts 50 meters down the road and shoots off into like a suburban street.
yeah. And we were coming from the other side of the highway, so we're seeing this take place across the street in front of us. And he ran, man. He had to get out of there quick.
Just an interesting bit of novelty occurring
yeah.
in the mundane.
Just like, what the fuck is going on? So he goes around this corner. We lost sight of him because we had to navigate our way across the highway, and then curiosity sort of took control, and we decided to go down the street that he decided to run down. So we go down the street. As we turn onto the street, we're like, oh, well, where the fuck did he go? Like, this guy's quick, because there wasn't really anywhere to go, like, obviously. So we're like, wow, he's really put legs on here. So we're slowly cruising down the road, and we're looking around, and then I spotted out of the corner of my eye the kind of red from his basketball jersey sitting down behind a picket fence next to a tree.
Good spotting, by the way, because I had no idea until he emerged.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was very well out of sight, and he didn't want to be found.
No.
but we found him.
But yeah, so we stopped, and we were all just like looking back over our shoulders at this guy just sitting there doing, I don't know what the fuck he was doing.
I didn't even care the fact that we were all staring at him, because I was like, you're the one doing some weird shit, dude.
Yeah.
You're inviting some stares.
It's bizarre. And then he gets up and he comes walking sort of towards our car. But
yeah, and I was like, let's fucking go.
yeah, and then off we went. And then after all this, after we picked up my sister from uni, come back, we decided to check out we pulled up, and you got out of the car and checked where he was hiding behind that
Returning
fence.
to the scene of the crime.
Just to see what was there. Nothing really.
Nothing.
Yeah. And then around the corner we went and had a look at the bike. Now, I thought, my theory is that he had some drugs taped to the bike.
Sorry, not a theory.
Yeah, my hypothesis is he had some drugs taped to the bike.
Yep.
He's dumped it outside a house, done a runner.
Not very
And then
sus. No, pretty sus.
Yeah.
Like, hasn't casually walked away.
Yeah, super sus, which is weird. Because like
Yeah.
there was no immediate reason for him to run. He's just like, that's how you
was
get
the weird
fucking
part.
locked up, man. Acting all sus for no reason.
Yeah, that was odd.
So that was my hypothesis. That, and
Yeah.
then he maybe went around the corner and like stopped in this little garden bed behind the picket fence and picked up some cash that someone had left. And there's like, so there's no like change of like like obvious like transaction or anything. But
So
it still doesn't quite explain it really.
my hypothesis is that he's deep in a binge.
Like 3 days, 4 days.
Or whatever the fuck. And he's sort of come to eventually on Albany Highway carrying a frozen bicycle and thought, what the fuck am I doing with this?
Yeah.
And maybe he's got paranoid about it. Like, what have I done to get it?
Like,
Yeah.
is the kid okay?
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. And so he's like, fuck. Roadside pickup, easy. Dropped it, sprinted off, because again, 3-day binge, paranoia setting in. And then he's got himself around the corner. He's like, fuck, I'm hankering for some meth already.
I'm hankering. I've got a hankering.
Oh, just did a big sprint around the corner. I need a reset.
Yeah.
And he's just jumped into. Yeah. Knows what he's doing, I guess. Can you hide what he's doing?
Because
Again, I didn't see him.
he would have only been in that spot behind the fence for like a minute and a half, I reckon. 2 minutes max.
Defense?
When he was crouched down,
Yeah.
hiding.
We got there pretty quick.
Yeah, like
2 minutes
I
max.
reckon like a minute realistically.
Yeah. So he did like shoot some drugs in there. And
All
thought,
smoked. Whatever.
yeah, and just to keep the paranoia at bay. Okay. Oh, shh. Okay, it's all right. The kid's fine.
Yeah.
I think I can remember.
Whatever the situation, he was a fucked bloke.
Yeah. It's not the best way to spend your fucking Wednesday.
No. Is it? Oh, it's Wednesday.
Yeah. I started that
Shouts out
sentence
Wednesday.
and I was like, I don't know if it's actually Wednesday. Oh, shit.
Is it?
Pretty sure it's Wednesday.
Well,
It's a
it doesn't
Wednesday.
really matter what
mad
day we
day.
say it is. Just make it up.
Who cares?
This is a Florida day.
Florp. It's a very special day. Is
Yes.
everyone wearing green?
It's Ash Wednesday. Whatever that means.
Yeah. I've got a bunch of ash in my underpants. So I'm set for Ash
Like
Wednesday.
Stash Wednesday.
That's what you're meant to do, isn't
Stashing
it?
things.
Yeah.
So was yesterday Shrove Tuesday? Is that how it works?
I don't know what that is.
Next Tuesday?
Is it
I don't
something
even know.
about pancakes?
Yeah, you eat pancakes.
Yeah, on Ash Wednesday. Or
fuck.
Shrew's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, you eat pancakes.
Do ya?
Yeah.
Today? Or yesterday?
Yeah. It's the flesh of
It's either yesterday
Christ.
or next Tuesday.
It's the flesh of Christ.
Yeah, why can't they make that shit at church taste good? You know, those little crackers. Why don't they make it like succotash?
I always kept it in my mouth and spat it out because I don't want Jesus in me.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him in
I didn't
me.
want that.
Here, eat this person.
It's pretty gross. I'm not on board with any of that shit.
Like the concept or the actual biscuit cracker? Or both? Which one more so?
The cracker.
So if the Holy Spirit comes to me and asks me, do I spit or swallow? I say, I fucking spit.
Oh shit.
Throw that in there.
There's something poetic about telling the Holy Spirit that he's a cunt or she or whatever
fucking dog.
or it.
Yeah, don't assume it's even got a gender.
No.
Yeah. Yikes. So good luck to that fella.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's probably passed out in a Coles parking lot by now or something.
Spot shed.
Yeah. It's
That was his trolley probably.
it's the fucking wild, wild west down at Bentley Plaza.
It is.
The wild, wild
I've heard
west.
some
truly
stories
is.
about this region.
Yeah. You've got to keep your wits about you. Even when
Yeah.
you're just walking down the driveway to your car, you're parked on the street, anything could happen.
What has anything Is there anything else stick out in your mind that's like that was wild?
I'm pretty fucking hardcore, so people leave me alone.
Oh, okay.
I think
It doesn't have to happen to you.
I think
You
most
could
people
observe
just-
it.
I've seen some shit go down.
most people think you're one of the weird cunts that's going to do something, so they stick away from you.
Yeah, and I'm cool with that. I am cool with people thinking I'm a weird cunt and leaving me alone.
Yeah.
The wrong people. That's the magic. You need the wrong people to think you're a weird cunt and leave you alone, and you need the right people to think you're a weird cunt but like you for it.
I feel like it's the opposite. If you give off a non-judgmental or weird vibe, especially if you're in the city, you'll attract the fucking weirdos. They'll come up and want to talk to you about shit.
Yeah.
Hey man, you're doing some weird things today? Yeah, me too.
You want to do
That's
some
what's
weird
happened to
shit
me.
together?
Yeah, it goes the other way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You get that a lot, don't you?
If you look like a fucking
What are
square,
you trying to say?
I know,
if you look like a square, I didn't take it as an insult.
because you told me that you
All the time.
attract weird people that just
Yeah, people asking for drugs.
yeah.
People just wanted to have a conversation about, I don't know, Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, that's in the within the scope of weird.
It's a weird reference, but it's I'm remembering a specific conversation. But yeah, because like if you're a square, if you're just like, just looks like some ordinary citizen, which I actually kind of look like now because I shaved my beard and I got a haircut.
Yeah,
So
that's excellent.
they were like, I don't want to talk to that person because
Too normal.
that dime a dozen. Is that the right phrase? You know, they're
Dime a
just,
dozen.
They're just one of the citizens walking along. I want
A
to
normie.
engage with someone who can, you know, sort of take my
Life.
Saturday.
Yeah, I can see that.
You
Like
feel me?
weird people being attracted to it because they feel comfortable.
I don't know what it is about me, but just like weirdos are very okay with being weird to me.
Yeah. I guess weirdos, going back to like the Bentley Plaza scenarios, I guess weirdo is probably not the right way to put it, but
It's just one of the words.
maybe
we
like
use.
skits cunts. I don't know.
Sure.
Does that capture it a bit better?
You can use whatever words you want.
Yeah.
Language is a form of virtual reality.
Because like weird for me is like I could go to a cafe and talk to a guy wearing fucking Doc Martens and like short fucking denim jeans, and he's, I don't know, got some fucking weird beanie on. And I'll be like, yeah, this guy looks like he's weird, and I could probably talk to him about some weird
That
shit.
description
He can
didn't sound
handle it.
too weird though. Doc Martens and
Yeah, that probably wasn't. I didn't want to throw it out of the park too much. That was pretty standard. But
Yeah.
that's, I don't know.
I know.
I would sooner talk to a guy that was dressed like that than fucking any other guy, really. Than a guy in a business suit. I wouldn't go up to him and be like, isn't it weird that like we're all going to fucking die? Like, do you ever think about that?
He's like, yeah, I thought about it before. That's why I work at the bank.
Yeah, some guy
Yeah.
just at like the
Fucking terrified.
at the checkout in Spud Shed or something, and he's just like just freaking out.
Yeah. See, so skits cunt is the guy that's running around going, we're all dying. We're all dying. Did you know we're dying?
Yeah, they already know it.
Boy.
They already
I'm
know
like,
it. That's why they've released all their material shackles. They're just got a mental illness. Out on the street.
there was a guy walking along the other day. I was going to buy some bread so that I could make eggs at home. It's a pretty mundane
You
activity.
bought some bread so you can make
I was
eggs.
about to
Sorry.
say that, eh?
It's fucked up. I bought some bread
How do you make
so
your
that I
eggs?
could make some poached eggs and on toast.
I was going to buy some.
There we go.
Why is no store selling toast? You thought someone would have done it.
Just like
Loaves
get
of
in on
toast.
Like
Loaves of toast.
like at the bakery at like an IGA, like they got their deli section.
Yeah.
Like they just have toast.
yeah.
Well,
That'd be cool.
because then you have to bring all your condiments.
Oh no, they'd provide that as
Stuff like
well.
that. Oh, so just like a
Toast.
breakfast place.
No, but like you buy. You, all right. What if you just go to a store and buy a loaf of toast? Like
Like
isn't-
packaged.
Yeah.
I don't know. 'cause
You
it's
have to heat
cold,
it up
man.
again.
Yeah, you got to heat it up. It's like
Well, you got to heat up a lot of things. Why not toast?
That's true. You have to heat up a lot of things.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What?
Pitch it to Shark Tank or something.
yeah. I want to see
Prepackaged
this.
toast.
So
I
you
wanna
know
see this
toast,
happen.
right?
And I haven't forgot your story. Well,
Yeah, we'll get back to
Yeah, just go for it.
Well, it was just
I
some
wanted to
dude.
hear your pitch.
You heard all you need to know. Make up your mind.
Breakfast toast.
Jesus Christ.
All right, you're buying
Toast. Bread.
bread to
Yeah,
make
I go to buy bread.
Toast.
egg powder.
I was leaving egg powder. I was walking out of the shops back into the car park. There was a guy in front of me, fucking jacked dude, and he had his kid. And I was like, "Oh, that's sweet. Like you're jacked and you're tattooed, and you got a little kid. You know, like people like those photos of like tattooed men holding babies." I was like, "Oh, it's got that kind of appeal. Sweet." Yeah. So we walk outside, and some dude's off his fucking tits, and and he's just yelling, and he's just going crazy, and he's looking at people as well. Like I can handle a guy that's yelling and walking around and just minding his business, going.
This
But I
guy was unfiltered.
Yeah, but it's when a guy's yelling and he's like the fucking Mona Lisa, like trying to make eye contact with you wherever you are on the street or in the car park. Like, get the fuck out! Like he's gonna hone in on me. He's gonna target me, and I'm gonna have to arc up and act all aggressive so that he backs down. Because like,
Yeah, as soon as he
That's
catches a
my
pair
response.
of eyes, he's like, "Oh, you're
Yeah.
fucking mine, mate."
and he's just looking around here. Fuck this, fucking communism, all that kind of stuff, all that jazz. This is wild. And the jack dude in front of me was getting super uncomfortable because he had his kid there, and he's like, "Oh my god, like you're too innocent. You're not ready for this shit." And
You're not
was
ready
actually
to
the end
see
of the
when it all goes
experience.
wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
There's no like lesson to be learned from
I
this
thought he was
story.
gonna like
Just a skits guy.
confront.
Yeah, I thought the big guy was going to knock his fucking block off.
Yeah, nah. That would have been sick though.
You should have just made it up.
Yeah.
And then the daughter.
Nah, just do it again.
Yeah, the daughter actually kicked the guy's ass.
Yeah.
Dad was like,
she
Jesus
fucking killed
Christ.
Shit.
Yeah.
Like, the ambulance came and shit.
She killed him dead.
She went to jail.
Yeah, I heard about
She's
that.
doing hard time.
Maximum security. Men's prison.
Men's
Yeah.
prison. Does she identify as a...
She's a trans midget.
Now she's part.
she
now-
identifies
now
as a
she's-
40-year-old man.
Now she's the head of a gang.
Alright, if you can identify as like a 13-year-old boy, but you're like a 40-year-old man, does that mean you go to juvie if you commit a crime?
Not yet, because the
It's a
system hasn't
legal
caught up.
loophole.
That's a good point.
The
Not
system
yet.
hasn't caught up.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
going to be dangerous.
I think we should stay away from that. Not conversationally, but just in
Society.
society. It's getting a bit too hectic, man.
A society where
we do
isn't
live
it
in
We
a
crazy?
certainly
society.
do.
Isn't it crazy we live in a society?
Yeah, it's fucked. Shout out
crazy.
shit memes. Yeah, that's dangerous.
I'm not on board. I just think, it's just getting a bit wild.
You just
It's
are what you
just
are.
Crazy. Let's just slow down. Just take it back a bit. Just, get our shit together and then go
We're-
from there.
We're approaching escape velocity from my own biology, and I'll just put it at that.
I want to throw this line out because
Sure.
I was
Sure,
pretty
Bob.
happy with it before. But this line,
I think I know where this is going.
this is profound, and just mull it over a little bit.
Before I say this is going to be profound.
I built this right up. So here it is. Wait, let me get it right.
Sure.
Social media is the social addiction. No? Fucking yeah.
Break it down. What are we talking
Fuck
about?
yeah.
What are we talking about?
Well, basically, my feelings are it's just there's like antisocial addictions that in the culture of like society and stuff.
Yeah.
We've labeled as like bad, like
doing meth in a bush.
Yeah, like meth.
Like dropping off bicycles.
You fucking bring up you go to like for whatever reason you're at a fucking 2-year-old's birthday party and you're mingling with the parents and you try bringing up meth and see what kind of fucking looks you get.
Jesus.
Hey, yeah, heard about meth? Pretty radical, hey?
Pretty
and they'll be
radical.
like, yeah, we don't talk about that. We're
Or
parents. We're
psychedelics,
responsible.
unless you're like, oh, that's a bit.
Yeah, that's it. Ooh, ooh, ooh,
Then,
ooh.
unless it's that, then it's. Although I shouldn't bring that into the field of addiction, but
Yeah.
I know what you mean when you say.
But these are antisocial addictions. But we don't even think about social media as an addiction. I've harped on about this before, but
Quite in the same sense as other addictions
yeah, it's this acceptable one.
Yeah.
Just like I don't know how
that you
it's-
can do in front of everyone.
yeah, but it's like people are fucking addicted. People are really, really addicted. Yeah, and I just don't think as a whole society we're like awake to that yet. We're not. It's like looming there, and we're just I think we'll look back in like 20 years and be like, whoa, we kind of lost the ball a bit.
Yeah.
There.
Things haven't quite.
The dust hasn't settled.
Yeah, haven't been passed out yet. Because I mean, how long we had smartphones with Facebook, et cetera,
Yeah.
or like 8 years, 7 years.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's pretty analogous to actual drug addiction and drug dealing. The users are the the users are the losers.
Users are
Absolutely
losers.
right, man. But the users are at the bottom of the chain, and they're being used for profit.
The consumer.
Yeah. So a drug dealer pushes drugs at the expense of
The user.
the addict.
Mm-hmm.
They get money.
Mm.
And I guess it's the same for, I guess, Facebook.
You could
That's
use
an example, I guess.
You could use
It's
that
the
in a
same
lot
thing.
of different ways, like fast food and shit like that.
Yeah.
I guess it's everything. I
Yeah.
guess. Everything
That's
that
just
has
like
a profit
marketing.
For everything
It's
that has a
marketing,
profit,
yeah.
I guess. So maybe it is just nature itself. Oops.
Could you argue that we're not aware of social media addiction because the effects aren't significant enough? Like we're aware of people with junk food addictions and drug addictions because you can see the impacts that it has on society very
physical.
clearly. Yeah.
It's physical. Yeah.
You know,
There's a physical
Healthy
manifestation.
healthy at any weight.
yeah. Well, so I can't believe I just like to that. Like what?
Sure.
Social media addiction though, like I don't know the effects. Well, what are the effects? Let's speculate about that.
It doesn't necessarily physically manifest. It just kind of like changes the way your brain works, and you can't really notice that until one day you're like, "Oh fuck! I just spent like an hour scrolling through nothing."
Yeah, yeah,
I think the
Or you're
word.
like sort of agitated, like in traffic, you're like, because you're not doing anything. Like,
Yeah, the worst part is
Yeah.
like not being able to just talk to a human in front of you. I think that's the most detrimental effect. Like if you're at home by yourself and you're just trying to do something, like you're just bored, so you're just like scrolling through your phone. Yeah, it's not a good thing, but like at least you're not just ignoring someone,
Yeah.
like just right in front of you.
yeah. That does my fucking tits in, mate.
Yeah.
would you believe me if I said that people at red lights and stuff check their Facebook?
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah, you see it
for
fucking all the time.
sure.
They were saying,
I've done it. I'm a piece of
I've
shit.
probably done it before.
I think they were saying like they write like 1,000 tickets or something a week for people using their phones.
Yeah,
Like just in Perth, I
I'd
think.
love to know how much of that is people using them for social media.
Someone was caught FaceTiming on their phone yesterday.
Oh,
They had like the steering wheel there, and then FaceTime, like holding it.
Jesus.
you've got to be kidding me, man. I don't want to be on the roads, man. When I hear about shit like that,
Yeah,
I don't want to die.
and they had some like police,
wanna die.
some
I don't
like
wanna
policemen giving like a statement about it. They're like, "All right, we're at the point where like we're begging people like just don't use your fucking phone."
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Oh, it's crazy.
Actually, it was a woman, it wasn't a man. It was a woman.
A woman.
Isn't it crazy that people get into vehicles, cars?
Death machines.
Yeah, 1.5 to 2, 3 ton fucking death machines driving them at like 60, 70, up to 100 kilometers an hour.
And you can only run what, like 15 k's an hour?
Nah,
I
more than
can
that.
run like
Maybe.
I can run like 30,
30, maybe 40.
40 k's. But yeah,
Yeah.
Enough to set off the things in
Yeah.
the road.
Oh, fucking hell. But like, how disconnected do we get though when we get into a car? People just don't realize how fucking dangerous these things are.
if you didn't disconnect, you'd be like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sort of
You do have to, don't you?
you
Yeah.
need to be somewhere in the middle.
They're going to hit me. Oh, I'll just go past. All
Oh,
right.
no, they're in their lane. That's all good.
You do have to disconnect, but like when you're disconnecting to the point where you think that it's okay to fucking have your phone in front of your steering wheel on FaceTime and you're ignoring the fact that things are happening very quickly on the road.
Yeah.
Things pull out of driveways. Most people can't respond fast enough if they're aware and alert. Like if a car just pulls out of a driveway 10 meters ahead of you and you're going at 60 kilometers an hour, you don't have a very good chance biologically of being able to respond to that quickly enough and stop the car. Like, yo. I want to draw back to an incident that happened. It was a very, very minor. It wasn't even a crash, really. It was wet. I was driving with my friend. My friend was driving. We were coming up to a roundabout. He just started sliding with his car. Not fast, maybe 40 kilometers an hour. Sliding along in his car, and we slid. And you know how they sort of have those little islands just before you get to the roundabout? They usually have the roundabout sign on one of the islands. We just collided into the curb, and it was like no damage, nothing like that. But he was kicking himself because he didn't feather the brakes, which was like because it was wet. Like he just stuck in the heat of the moment. He didn't have the sense to like put his to feather the brakes. He just stuck his foot down, which caused the tires to seize up. He didn't have ABS braking, so we slid and we had no control. We couldn't stop that sliding. And he was immediately after. He was like, wow, "Why didn't I feather the brakes? Like when the tires locked up, why didn't I release the brake and then just sort of ease it on and just kind of like you do like that? We could have avoided hitting it." But it's like in the heat of the moment, man. You
don't know what you'll do. You're
only going to have access to like 5% of your skill or knowledge that you draw on to avoid or to mitigate these scenarios.
Yeah, you're not going to have any nuance with like the amount of force you use with your foot.
Yeah.
You're just going to be like,
because you just go panic mode. Yeah. And then just, I've had it.
I've heard of like people in the passenger seat like ripping up the handbrake in a situation. Like they just freaked out. Like, I don't know how close their hand would have been to it in the first place, but like, some kind of instance occurred in front of them where they need to get on the brakes pretty quick, and they fucking just wrenched up the handbrake, which is like probably a really fucking bad idea.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But it just shows what happens. Like you don't think to do that, it just happens. Yeah. And afterwards you're like, fuck.
Yeah. And we don't need to add being distracted by your phone into the mix. We don't.
Yeah.
Like, nah.
And so many people are guilty of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy. I want to see some stats, about how many more traffic accidents we're having and stuff since these phones are taken over and people can't keep their hands off their phone for more than 10 minutes.
Australia's driving with your phone is like our equivalent to like Americans and their guns. Like, just can't keep our hands off it. Don't take my phone.
It's everywhere too. What if somewhere down the track they install some sort of EMP device or something that specifically just blocks the turning on of like a phone screen?
Ooh.
So you can still use it because you still need like, you can't just nerf the entire phone, but what if they did that?
Wait, what do you mean?
What do you mean? Like if you get into the car, I don't know, this is a really hypothetical thing, but they have some sort of device in cars, like it's mandatory at some point, that blocks the turning on of a phone screen. So the most distracting part, you're not really.
RIP GPS.
Because people are still like, well, you could you'd have to like set up the voice thing beforehand. Yeah, I guess.
Or I'd have to buy a separate GPS.
It allows for GPS in this hypothetical situation.
Yeah.
I don't know. Technology would probably have to step in at some point. Like they can't just keep saying, "Hey, don't do it."
Yeah.
Because
at some point.
When does that ever work?
Yeah.
So when
at some
someone
point.
says, "Hey, don't do this," to millions of people.
Yeah, there's always some asshole.
At some point, the manufacturers are going to have to like take some responsibility.
Yeah.
Even though it's so hard because it's like obviously they didn't intend for it to be used like that, but that's the thing. Like they also do because having like maps and things like that, and like they're coming up with like built into cars now, like the touch screen for the radio and all that. They have apps like built into them, like for like things that you wouldn't want to be using while you're driving.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure they have like messages and things like that. Like you can connect your phone and use that screen to message someone. It's like,
Oh boy.
yeah, that's just asking for trouble.
None of this is planned out whatsoever, because when they made smartphones, I mean the iPhone, surely they didn't plan for Snapchat, all these other things that could come along.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And obviously they didn't plan for its interaction with driving. All of this is just on the spot, like on
Yeah.
the fly.
But now that
Evolving in
yeah.
front of our very eyes.
But now that it does exist and they're all aware of it, then they sort of have to like adapt to it
Yeah.
to make it safer.
Well, it'd be interesting to see what we can come up with, what innovations and different, ways of
You almost have to like
changing it.
de-invent things,
Yeah.
sort of take a step back at some point.
Oh.
Oh, self-driving cars. I guess maybe that'd solve everything, because then
Yeah.
is it okay to be on your phone in a self-driving car?
I'm confused how those self-driving
I think so. I think
cars
it should be
like
okay.
work, because
Because it's
there's,
really
there's
good.
still a person in the like driver's seat
Yeah.
and they can control like shit.
You can take over.
Yeah. But like, do you have to be paying attention all the time? I'm confused.
Oh, you don't have to.
Like, could
I don't think
you?
there's any rules on it. Like there's like photos online of people like asleep at the wheel.
That'd be
of,
so
like,
sick.
Teslas.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Going to sleep. and
You'd have to trust it a lot,
never
wouldn't
waking
you?
up.
Oh, that whole thing where the Uber crack killed the person.
Yeah.
There's like
Yeah, in
the
Austin.
in-car footage.
Yeah,
of
I've
the,
seen
like,
that. That's what
driver.
I was sort of
And
thinking.
they're just on their phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but they bring that up like the way that they brought that up. I was like, are they saying that because it's illegal or because like she should have been paying attention, or like that was just like a fact
I think
of the
I
matter?
think they're just heaping more shit on it to try and like make it more controversial or
the oil industry.
sway people's opinion a certain way. But from what I've picked up on in keeping on tabs on this whole event is that like that fucking lady came out of nowhere.
Yeah, like I don't think a human could have reacted any faster.
Yeah, and you see the street lights; they're like very, very spread out. It was really dark
Like I want to
where
know
she was.
if that car started to brake before it hit her.
No, apparently it didn't break at any point.
Yeah, right.
It-
'Cause it
That's
just couldn't
probably
pick her up.
been-
that's probably the only thing. But yeah, she
Yeah.
does just fucking come out of nowhere. And
And-
like at the same time, why the fuck is she crossing a road? Like when a car is obviously coming. Like if it's like pitch black and a car with headlights is coming towards you.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna fucking see it.
She might have been
She
fucked
just didn't
up.
look.
Yeah,
at
She
all.
wasn't
could
even
have been.
looking.
Yeah,
she
she
wasn't
didn't
looking.
look.
I don't know if this is true, but apparently she was homeless.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She's pushing a trolley or something, wasn't she?
You can
No,
read
bike,
into
bike.
that a little bit as well, you know. Maybe she wasn't making great decisions.
Here's the headline for you. Self-driving cars kill homeless people.
That's it. That's fear
They are
mongering.
bloodthirsty for homeless people.
Yeah.
Click, and there's a circle with a thumbnail,
red
a red circle.
circle.
Like this is, you won't believe.
No, it'd be like 10 instances when Uber fucked up or something like that, and it'd be like
Yeah.
the first 9 are just stupid things, and then
Yeah.
the very last story is the self-driving car.
It was cool because when the news first broke about the incident, there was like a 4 or 5 day lag between that and actually getting the footage from the car. So I was actually having a really great time trying to speculate on what could have happened. And I was coming from like a pro autonomous car standpoint. And
I didn't even know they
being like-
existed until that story.
Yeah, I didn't know that they had them. I mean, what did they say? They had like 1,000 vehicles in
Yeah,
Austin or
like I
something
thought there
going
was like
around?
prototypes, but I didn't know they were actually running. That's
Yeah.
fucked.
It's good to see, and in this instance, I think that in that situation, if anyone, human or autonomous car, is gonna be able to like avoid that scenario, the autonomous car is going to have the best possible chance. But the reality is, it was a situation where it was just too fucked for either of those things to be like effective in avoiding it, and that's going to happen.
Well, I want to know how good they are in bad light. Like what?
Yeah.
Do they have any use in like pitch black? Like can they see?
They could be
At
even better
nighttime?
than humans.
Probably are.
Yeah.
But like the fact that it didn't break at all, like
Well, I mean, it was fast.
Yeah.
And it was like.
did it break after it hit it? I said hit. Like
Yeah, I know.
Oh
hit the deer. No, the human.
Hit that flesh bound.
I think they have radar on there, but it must be like short range or something. So it was too late. But without knowing anything about how this shit works, like could there be room for like an infrared application on these things so you can just like see 50 meters ahead, you can see any heat signatures, and it can determine whether it's a human being or an animal or
if it's an animal, just fucking floor it.
I feel like that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
So you can analyze everything way far.
Let's
I mean,
punch
this
it
probably
in.
sounds
See
really
what-
the
stupid.
military surely
Surely.
Shirley
has
Temple.
things like that
Yeah.
already in play.
Yeah.
Surely.
I believe that.
Some sort of drone technology,
Always.
put it in a Tesla.
I always believe that whatever you can see on the market, and a good example is like drones, you've got like your DJI Phantoms and all these other things, Mavericks and stuff. I had this
Mavic.
belief, the Mavic, I always believe that the military's got like something like 10 times better from anything you got on the
It
market.
does happen like that usually, doesn't it? The military has some piece of technology and then it eventually filters out into civilian world, civilians.
City Street. And even the companies that produce these products, I think that they've got the capabilities that go far beyond what their current products are, but they're just sort of weeding it out to the market because, if you just release it all at once, like, what? And no one's going to, you have a bad time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of time,
Oh, we're cruising at about 56 minutes.
So,
Awesome.
so what you're
Should we
saying
wrap
is
it down?
no one's watching right now.
Yeah. Everyone's dropped off the perch.
I don't think it's even been
Fuck
clicked
you.
on. Well, no, not fuck you, because if they're still watching, thank you.
no,
Thank you
tell
very
someone
much.
else fuck you.
I'm just trying to learn about these Uber autonomous cars here. They're they got a camera on the front, like somewhere where the number plate area is. I don't know. That can detect for like braking of cars in front of it, pedestrians, traffic lights. Yeah, that's another thing. It has to detect like traffic lights and
Yeah.
like speed limits and shit.
Yeah.
I wonder if the speed limits are just built in like in like a GPS, how some GPS know the speed limit in certain areas.
Well, I
and
know
that.
they have LiDAR, which is like some kind of like global positioning technology. So it works out where it is on the globe, and then it maps out like the areas around it or something like that.
Actually, yeah, that's what it
fucking do
says.
not
Yeah, that's
know.
what this has.
Yeah.
LIDAR, LiDAR.
I'm just a
Yeah.
man.
I read these things.
Three-dimensional scan of the environment.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I read these things and I sort of like, I think I get it, but then trying to reproduce that information, it's like, well, I really don't fucking know what I'm talking about.
Like I was reading something about DNA and stuff yesterday. I was like, I think I know what that means, but maybe in the simplest of terms, maybe.
Here's a breakdown. They've got 7 cameras, 1 laser inertial measurement units. I don't know what that is. Custom compute and data storage, 360-degree radar coverage. So basically 7 cameras and a laser.
So obviously this is their plan to completely autonomize their workforce, right?
Yeah.
Like the fact that they
Yeah,
have people sitting in the driver's seat, that's just a stopgap until it's like flawless
Yeah.
tech, right?
Was the person sitting in the driver's seat, is that like the passenger? Or is that like an Uber driver? I thought it was the passenger.
Yeah.
Well, it would be,
Of
wouldn't
course,
it?
it's the
Eventually.
passenger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's going to be it's going to be all
Well, I thought it-
passengers.
I
So
thought
these
it
are
already is.
full on autonomous. There's
Nah,
not even a driver just to be there in case.
Well, I thought the driver just to be there in case is the passenger, like ordering it.
Right.
Oh,
so
so
they can
these
control
ones-
it?
I don't know. That's
so
why I'm
disrespectful.
confused.
My understanding with these ones in Austin is that they're not passengers. They're like Uber techs that are like monitoring
Oh,
the
so it's
cars
not even like
because they're still in the testing
real
phases.
ride.
Right.
Yeah, it's not. They're not. I don't think they're fully operational. No. These are like. I think they're Uber technicians that are working with the cars, recording information, doing. I don't know what the fuck they do.
Yeah.
But I'm fairly certain I read that these guys are Uber techs. They're not. It's not open to the general public yet.
True. That makes sense then.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm really interested actually to figure that out.
Well, we could leave it for another episode.
Yeah,
an entire Uber episode.
We could hit it hard, man. We could hit it hard. I mean, we're fucking Uber drivers. We can talk that shit.
I'm not an Uber driver.
Don't take my job. Don't take my job.
Yeah, let's let it go for today then, guys. This is a good sesh.
Damn robots taking our jobs.
Thanks for watching if you made it this far. Big things are coming up in the near future, so stick on board. We hope you enjoy it. We'll try and keep it as funny and interesting as possible.
Stay on board, unlike sea containers.
Yeah, don't drop down to the bottom of the ocean. You'll get eaten by monsters.
I love you, and yes, specifically you.
I'm going to watch it later.